What's up, everybody? Wait a minute. I'm gonna make sure these lights don't turn off on me. I hate when that happens. I don't like that. And I set the timer, and then it just undoes itself for some reason. It goes back to just does what it wants to do instead of what I want to do. What I want it to do. I hate that. Don't you? When the world doesn't work the way you want it to, when it doesn't follow your directives. Because you know, if it did, right, everything would work out perfectly, right? Man, I am in a lousy mood. I'm in such a moody mood. I've already done a lot of work and I still have so much more work to do, And I'm tired, and it's just, I'm kind of cranky right now. And I made the mistake of getting on some social media and I'm watching people argue. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm wondering if you haven't watched the video I made this morning, you should watch it. If you really want a good example of love. Oh my God, here we go. I'm getting a text. Horrible. What Trump did to Martin Luther King's bust. I'm so sick of this. Aren't you sick of this? This is insane. You guys, I did a video this morning of how many years are we going to go through this? I made a video this morning about my grandmother and grandpa. My grandpa, a man that was struck with multiple sclerosis in his 20s, and he lost his ability to walk and had to be cared for by my grandmother. And she had to take care of him and raise 3 girls, one of them my mother, all by herself. And I remember, I asking her when she was alive, I was like, Grandma, how did you do that? I mean, how? And she's like, Anthony, I wanted to run away. And I just wanted to run away in the middle of the night. And I got so scared because of the way I was feeling. And she said that one night she prayed to God for help. And then that changed everything. And she had the strength to do what she had to do. And what she had to do, you guys, was, I don't know. I've never had to face something like that. Raising 3 girls and taking care of her husband all by herself. And at that time when this happened to her, there weren't social programs in place to help out, and she was really struggling financially, and she was all by herself, man. And I tell the story. The underlying story is love. It's real love. That's real love, man. That's real love. And I remember asking her one time, I was like, Grandma, how do you know what real love is, She's so funny. She's like, you'll just know, Anthony. You'll just feel it. You'll know. And I was like, well, I feel like I felt that before and things don't work out. She was so funny. You should have seen, she had this stack of National Enquirers next to her couch. I mean, she was a voracious reader. She would read like novels, like 3 a week, like autobiographies, really big, thick books, and she just would read. She was a home person. She liked to stay at home a lot, like me. But she had this stack of National Enquirers, and I used to be like, I'd be like, Grandma, why do you like to read this garbage, And she's like, I just think it's so funny, Anthony. And I remember at that time, Bill Clinton was president, And, if you've been alive long enough, Bill Clinton, that was a very polarizing figure, like just the way a lot of people see Trump, a lot of people saw Obama, and this, I mean, they thought he was the Antichrist, and just like, and, and she had so much hope for Bill Clinton, and I said, yeah, Grandma, why? Because I didn't like Bill Clinton, And I said, why do you like him, And she said, because he plays the saxophone. And she said, like, she said that he'll be a hit with the young people, and they'll get him interested in politics. And so that's why she liked Bill Clinton, because he played the saxophone. And I just remember thinking at that time, I'm like, Grandma, man, to myself, I'm thinking, my grandma's not very politically astute, like she's kind of simple-minded about that. But now that I'm older, I wish I had her kind of simple-mindedness. Here I go again. She knew what love was. Damn. She knew what real love was. When I look at the world today, you get on Facebook and you see your friends arguing about politics and trashing Trump or trashing Biden. And I was part of that years ago, I got sucked into that shit too. And you think you're engaged in some pursuit that is righteous and good. But we're fooling ourselves. That's not love. I talk a lot, be talking more about the spiritual awakening that I went through, this year, the dark night of the soul. When you come out the other side of that process, you have a much better understanding of what real love is and what it's not. And I've made a few videos talking about bringing in the new world, and how in the new world, governments in whatever form they take will be ruling from a more heart-centered place, and the people of this world will also be cooperating in a more heart-centered place. And I've discussed, the waiting we're all going through for this new world, and we want it so bad. And we're so tired of all this stupid fighting and arguing, which goes nowhere. And every time there's another president, it's the same garbage over and over. It's just a different person, but it's the same mindset. And the people that are getting everybody all riled up are the people that are running this country, that are running this world. And we have to be so much smarter than that. I'm so tired of these emails and texts that I get. You guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm just speak from the heart, man. You hate Trump. You hate Trumpers, man. If you can't walk up to one of those Trumpers, if you can't throw your arms around one of them, tell them that you love them, you're part of the problem that this world is suffering from. And if you're a Trumper and you can't walk over to the other side of the street and look a trans person in the eye and hug them and tell them that you love them, you're part of the problem. So that's to stop. The love is not the container. We have lost our way. We think love is the container. It's just a sexual attraction. It's not love. My grandpa, my grandma, that was love. And I bet a lot of you have other people in your lives too that you could look at and you say, God, well, that's what real love looks like. The kind that never gives up on somebody that you love. No matter what the circumstances are, you're always there. Always. Even when it hurts, when it's hard, when you're ready to pack it in. But you feel like you're at your wit's end. But you still get up as you do what needs to be done. But you do it with love in your heart. I think about my grandma. She just gets married, and her husband in his early 20s is already starting to get sick and can't work. She never got to experience the things that I've got to experience. Maybe there's some of the things you've got to experience. And it just blows my mind, the kind of suffering that so many people have to go through. And there's good people. Good people. And you think, why? Why do these people have to go through that? I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to begin to answer that. But I do know that if we don't stop this ridiculous fighting with each other, we are never going to make it to that new world. I'm getting really sick and tired of this. Every single one of us has a responsibility to ourselves and to our families, to our children, to show them what real love is. I am begging everyone that watches this video to spend some time and think about how you can step out of your comfort zone and love somebody that you think is unlovable. Because if you can't do that, then who's going to? Who is going to? If you won't, if it's to be, it's up to me. You got to find it inside of you. Find the love if it's not there. And if you just can't do it, then you need to beg God to give you a spiritual awakening so that you can. Because this world needs you. It needs your heart in the right place. We should love one another, each other, no matter what. You're not hurting somebody, you're not killing someone, you're not stepping on them, taking advantage of them, you're not stealing from them. Then you can love that person, and you should. We're all we got. Each other. I don't know. This is stupid. We need each other. And now, more than ever, don't let these people that are running the show win. They win when they get us to look at one another and yell and scream and say that the other person is garbage. And it's not true. So, I have customers that come in here. I have some that are Christians. I have others that are Hindu. I have Buddhists come in here. I have people that don't believe in God that come in here. I have people of all races come in here. I have Trumpers come in here. I got tree huggers that come in here. I don't care. I love them all. Everyone that comes in here, I try my very best to make them feel welcome, because they are. I don't care if you are gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're whatever. I don't care. All I care about is that you are someone that is heart-centered, and that you love yourself and you love others, that you treat others the way you want to be treated, that you try to do that. We can be friends. It's pretty simple. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you don't have religion. Please think about this. Give it some time. Let it marinate in your mind. The world needs you. Will you shine the way? Help shine the way. Search your heart. Look inside. Anyway, I hope I haven't offended anybody. I surely don't mean to. But it is time to throw this garbage aside. We are not children anymore. We are grown people. We don't even know who our neighbors are anymore. We're so busy on our phones and computers. We're losing it. Please. Go inside. No more fighting, please. I love you. Bye.